everyone, and welcome to the Corn Corner Podcast. I'm Wicked Wren, and they say three is a company, but with Paul Newman, a Randy Newman, and a Gary Newman, when does it end?
In cars.
What does that mean?
It's a Gary Newman joke.
I'm
Cam
follow
Damage,
any of the Newmans.
And yes, I've seen Until the Light Takes Us, and if you like Fork Vickness and that's your takeaway from the movie, you suck.
I have no idea what any of that is, but I'm sure three people out there are going to love it.
Someone's gonna like it.
Today,
He likes it.
He doesn't. Today, we are dressed up a little bit scary, and we're going to have a content warning on this, but we wanted to get into the spirit and honor the holiday known across the globe as Halloween.
Samhain. You right?
Yep.
Not used to accessorizing so aggressively.
I don't accessorize.
You like my rings?
They're pretty good. I have on pretty much all of your stuff other than this skirt
Yep.
and this bra.
Yeah. The bra's definitely not mine.
No, definitely not yours.
Can you imagine?
No, I couldn't imagine. But speaking of horrors, this holiday is based on the idea of being afraid.
Yeah.
They will take bones from places and stack them in piles in order to scare different groups of people.
Are they in any specific shape or they're just stacking bones?
They do them alphabetical, but once you get all 100 bones up there, you can't really tell anymore.
Alphabetical, like from the bottom up. So like
Well, arm goes first.
arm, just the arm bone.
Don't make fun of the dead. You know what I mean? These people have bones and we're there to respect them, so we put them in piles, and it's meant to cause a shiver down some people's spines.
So it's the bones affecting the bones.
That's a great way of looking at that.
That's what they mean when they say the circle of life, actually.
And speaking of the circle of life, did you ever experience kind of a bone-based scare?
I've broken my nose a lot of times. That's pretty scary.
And the blood comes down.
Yeah, it does, you know?
And that sort of thing has to not feel great.
Have you ever seen a dead body? Sorry.
Nope.
Don't answer that. Really? You haven't?
I don't really look.
Well, I mean,
Wow. I don't really look for this.
I don't mean to brag, but I've seen a few in my life.
Yeah, I don't go on eBomb World or whatever.
Well, there weren't. It was more ogreish and rotten.com
Yeah,
and
I don't
Faces
go
of
on
Death.
that stuff.
You never went on? Well, we've been over this so many times. You were not an internet kid.
No, I don't need those kinds of things in my life. When the holiday supplies you with, have you seen they have a pail, the face of a jack-o'-lantern?
Yeah.
And they put candy in that.
The ones from
Doesn't
McDonald's.
get much scarier than that.
Yeah.
So personally, I don't need to search out those kinds of things to get my thrills and chills.
Now, have you been to a haunted house?
I went to Chinchuba.
We've talked about this. We talked about this recently, I feel like.
Scared the...
Yeah. I think we've talked about this on another episode. Yeah.
But I went, absolutely scared the out of me.
Yeah.
And the lady had to usher me out.
Yeah. Did you pee your pants?
No, but I tell you what, I could have.
And you were older than I think you should have been to be scared there.
No, it's scary. If I go now, most people would be scared.
How
That's
old?
a
How old
concept.
were you then?
I was probably... I had to have been 27.
For real?
No.
Okay. I was like, wait,
No.
we're not that much older than that.
Sometimes I do make a couple jokes,
Yeah.
but I was probably 13. Which...
That's okay. Whatever. I don't think that people are going to those things being pants peeing scared. But do you know about McCamey Manor?
No.
I was half watching a documentary on it recently, and I've already been familiar with it. But it's like an extreme haunt. Well, that horror movie that I was in was like loosely based on it or whatever. It's an extreme haunt where you basically like sign a crazy consent sheet that's like, I could have like bones broken, I could get serious bodily harm and have like be exposed to other people's bodily fluids, and they literally just torture you for like a day, like a long time, longer than is necessary. And the guy is like, who leads it is clearly just like a really weird sadist who doesn't know about kink and thinks that this is the way that he can like get off on hurting people. So he's like a dick. Like,
wow.
I think his name's Russ. But it used to be like people thought it was cool because he would donate dog food to shelters instead of like instead of paying to go, you paid with dog food or whatever that then he would donate to shelters. But like, it's not really, it's kind of stupid because like there's no safe word inside unless he deems you actually like in danger. So like you could be being like, no, I'm done, whatever, while he's like waterboarding you. And he gets he gets to decide if it's like too much or not.
Wow. He would waterboard people?
Yeah, like that's not even that bad compared to some of the shit. There's like crazy, like on the consent sheet, it's like you could have like teeth pulled out. Like there's like wild shit on it that you're like, sir, what? Like,
did you go?
No, why would I do that?
I know that you're into some more extreme things.
I keep my going to scary haunt stuff and my kink play separate because I'm not a bananas person.
I don't really understand a lot of the teeth pulling and the kink side of things. Like even when it's not real.
Like how when we shot the asylum thing, Kiss Me Deadly Doll.
Actually, now I take it back because when she was doing it, it was actually pretty.
It's hot.
It is. Now I take it back. Actually, I would take it back.
So for those who don't know, because this was one of my like secret ones, and this is already going off Halloween, but it's a little scary, this thought. So, it can hang on the Halloween episode.
And if you eat too much candy, you could be right here.
Yeah. But one of my kink fantasy that can never happen for me because of you have to get like bone grafts and stuff is like, this is bad. I shouldn't probably talk about this. So there's a thing called forced intox where like you are like, laughing gas or something. So you're loopy and stuff. And then, and keep in mind, this is all hypothetical. This will never happen. It's just a thing in there in the bank of getting your rocks off. Anyway, so it's that, and then someone messing with me, and in messing with me, they like pull a tooth or two out of the back.
Have you seen Hocus Pocus?
Yeah.
All right.
Why?
I was just trying something.
You're literally wearing a Billy Butcherson wig.
Is that who this is?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. You're kind of wearing it like him too.
I guess I am.
Yeah.
So you get the teeth pulled, and then
stuff happens.
Wow.
With like, because it's like bloody and stuff. And but since I'm on laughing gas and stuff, I'm like, in my fantasies, I'm like, hee, ha, ha, this is fun. Whatever. Dark stuff.
That's intense.
It can never happen because when you get teeth pulled from like molars and stuff, you have to get bone grafts in your jaw so you don't get like major infections in your skull and mandible.
I hear that those don't grow back.
No, they don't. Not after a certain point. But we shot a huge thing several days in an asylum set that Kiss Me Deadly Doll and her little mate Bethany built with the help of Zeppy. But I think it was mostly... But shouts to Zeppy just because I don't want them to feel excluded.
Good job. No, they're good. They're great.
Yeah, but it was mostly Kiss Me Deadly Doll and Bethany that made it apparently. And you'll see stuff from that soon. But we shot for like 4 days. 3 days? 4 days? I don't know.
3 days.
3 days, 4 scenes of like, it was bad nurses, Kiss Me Deadly Doll, and Wren versus patient me. And things got more and more insane until the last day. I literally got a catheter put in and had like a real catheter and so much pee.
It was
so much pee that came out of me. And it was
a lot.
And then I drank most of it.
You sure did.
Yeah.
We were all very proud of you and we cheered you on.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you had that submarine sandwich?
Yeah, it was so good.
You like that?
Yeah.
You like that.
At the end of a long shoot day.
You worked really hard. I feel like you owned everything that happened. And I felt like you really, you did a great job with that all.
Thank you so much. I did talk about it so I could get praise.
Yeah.
But I will say at the end of that long shoot day, we got sub sandwiches and they had salt and vinegar potato chips on them in the sandwich. Never had a better sandwich in my life.
This is a real question.
Yeah.
Do you like praise? I don't think you really care about it that much.
Oh, no, I do.
Okay.
I just don't react to it well.
Oh, okay. I guess
like,
that's
because
it.
it's hard because, like, I'll be, like, talking about scary. Childhood trauma is someone being, like, because when people praise me, some part of me is like, thank you. yes, I crave that. But then other parts, like, you're just saying shit. Like, you're just being nice. I'm not, like, whatever. Like, literally last night, one of my friends was like, you're pretty cool. And I was like, nah, dude, I suck. Like, I just have you tricked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not, yeah. You don't have anybody tricked because you are pretty great. I wouldn't do a podcast with you if I didn't think that you were great.
Well, there has to be a weak,
you know,
partner on the podcast.
But we have strength and we have weakness.
Got some corpse paint on the mic.
That's good. Do we have strength and we have weakness?
We keep doing this, by the way, where we do some crazy get up, and then the audio only people have no idea that it's happening until we're like 10 minutes in, and we're like, by the way, I'm sitting here dressed in like corpse paint and a big blonde wig, like I'm a black metal dude from Norway.
Yeah,
and you look like Susie and the Banshees over here.
Yeah,
oh, you don't know Sandman, Neil Gaiman's Sandman.
No, or Susie and Banshees either.
Well, you kind of look like Death from Neil Gaiman's Sandman.
Okay,
it's good. She's hot.
I like to be compared to people that are hot.
Yeah,
so that does help me a lot. But yeah, audio only listeners, we are in full Halloween garb because today is the annual Halloween episode
on the Corn Corner.
Everybody knows that we do an annual Halloween episode in honor of that holiday
every year. Every
single year we've done this podcast. We've done it.
Where you grew up, did they have Mischief Night?
No.
Do you know what that is?
Absolutely not.
It's like, I think the date may be different some places, but it's usually like the night before Halloween. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I guess it's like the Tuesday before, whatever. But it's like Devil's Night, Mischief Night, whatever. And it's just the like night that kids go around and just like fuck a bunch of shit up. God. Like when like the houses are getting toilet papered or pranks are being played. That's Mischief Night.
It reminds me of the kids in the Nightmare Before Christmas. How they were real
lock, shock, and barrel.
They were real troublemakers.
Yeah. Yeah. They were literally trying to feed Santa Claus to Oogie Boogie.
Yeah, they really like to make a mess of things.
Yeah.
And you were in that vein, you were a lot like a lock, shock, barrel.
I didn't ever participate in Mischief Night, to be clear. I would got in trouble.
You weren't allowed to? They didn't think you were cool enough?
No, probably not. I was kind of like lame. I didn't go trick-or-treating in high school. I don't think I was going trick-or-treating. So I think I was just not doing any of those activities.
Do you want to talk about your Halloween costumes growing up or no?
I'm trying to think about them. I'm just like zoned out. I feel like we talked about them on our last annual Halloween episode.
I actually have a story that I don't think I shared last year.
Do tell.
Because I wasn't comfortable doing it.
Oh, yes, you do. Yes, because you told me after.
This?
You told me after.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do it.
Yeah. I'll be totally upfront with everybody. I still do feel uncomfortable sharing the story, but
I think it's good one.
It's a great story. So growing up, my best friend, I found out years later, was trans.
Yeah.
And she came out, and obviously I came out, and we both had this thing where we were like, holy fuck, we were both trans. This is crazy.
Yeah.
So we went through and compared notes of our childhood and recounted stories. And one story that happened was she wanted to dress like girls for Halloween.
Like, haha, isn't that funny?
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, that would be so wild. And inside I was
like, hell yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I came home and I told my mom. She said, if you do this, people are going to make fun of you at school.
Yeah.
And she wasn't wrong. So I decided not to. And instead, I was a cell phone. Phenomenal costume. Don't laugh at that costume. This is also a very heartwarming story.
It's just so the jump from,
I know,
like living a trans dream when you didn't know anything about being trans
to
being like, well, that one's out. Guess I'll be a cell phone. Guess I'll be a Nokia.
I actually look at it as a little bit better than dressing as a woman because the cell phone is where a lot of us live our lives now. And it is hashtag trans is beautiful. And that only happens because of the cell phones. Regardless, so my friend did dress as a woman. She dressed as a grandma, like an old woman.
Oh, okay.
Though. And I remember just being like, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, so.
Did she get made fun of at school for dressing like a grandma? I feel like taking it to the grandma makes it safer.
It did make it safer, but she got made fun of
Already. Yeah.
Already. She had a rough
Yeah.
high school and middle school and all that. So yes, but it wasn't that big of a deal. Whereas I hated attention growing up.
Yeah.
Hated it. I didn't want any of it.
Do you think, I feel like it's girls dressing up as guys is not something that's like, haha. Like it's just like, I mean, it's funny, but it's not like weird. Like you can do that and it's fine. But guys dressing up as girls, it has to be like a caricature, like some insane thing. Like Britney Spears, this guy dressed up as Britney Spears. Haha, isn't that wild? Like it's another trans mask versus trans femme thing that like doesn't work both ways.
Yeah, it does suck.
Yeah.
And there's no real way to explore it on Halloween.
Yeah.
Even like girls get to explore different characters on Halloween, whereas you don't really get to.
Yeah. That's, I think growing up, girls can like, I could dress up like a hot guy and it's fine.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't be weird. People wouldn't be like, oh, you're cross-dressing.
No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's just like cool, fun.
But the cell phone did have a little button you could hit.
And did it make a dial tone?
Yeah, I went. Boop.
It did? How did you do that?
It was a little just button that was inside the costume.
Oh, okay. Oh, it was like you didn't make the costume yourself.
No, it was from Party City.
I'm thinking of back in the days when, because you know it's funny, and I may have talked about this already. When I was in the Girl Scouts, you know, misgenering myself, but we did Halloween parades, and there was one year where we were all cell phones, my troop. Like, but our moms made the outfits because we were kids.
Like?
It was like a flip phone thing, I think.
Mine was a flip phone, too.
Yeah.
It had an antenna that you could pull up and down.
But, like, our moms all made them because there was, like, before the age of, like, I don't know, 10, our parents were still making costumes, I feel like. Or, I don't know, mine did.
Mine was not, but...
Also, I think there's a difference because you were an only child.
That makes sense.
And my parents had to dress up 4 kids.
That makes sense.
So there was definitely like my oldest sister went as a mummy one year because it was just like gauze that my dad could get at the hospital, and shit like that, and just throw like the grapes balloons, that costume.
Oh, that's funny.
Where you just wear a jumpsuit and then they like taper glue.
Grapes.
Yes, they staple grapes to your kid.
God,
and in the form of balloons.
We talked about grapes on this podcast recently. Do you remember that?
Frozen grapes?
No, we spoke about people that ate grapes and they are always washed them in the colander.
Did we?
Yeah, I believe we did.
In what capacity?
We were talking about people that are grape enjoyers. And they put them in the little colander. They have them in the fridge and they take one out.
Are you not a grape enjoyer?
Not particularly, but I will sometimes have it if I'm forced. But I don't.
How about bringing it back to Halloween? You know, when you were a kid and
grapes
you go
are very scary.
Well, you go to the Halloween parties as a kid and they would have the peeled grapes in the bowl, like their eyeballs.
Yeah.
And you'd have to like walk by a table, like a snack table, and it'd be like, but you're blindfolded, your eyes are closed or something, and you have to like touch all the wet spaghetti and the stuff like that.
When you touch that wet spaghetti, does it send chills?
I think I was a pretty precocious kid and I was like, this is stupid.
Wow.
And I remember very vividly one Halloween party where they had that kind of stuff set up and I was like, this is dumb.
Wow.
And it was under 10. Like I was like 7 or 8. I know. But then we played musical chairs and I was extremely competitive with it. And I chipped my front tooth on one of the chairs because I was like,
yeah. You're a competitive person.
When it is appropriate. Yes.
People say that I am, but I always say I'm not. But I think I am probably.
Are you a sore loser?
No. But if I lose, I generally make a joke out of it. But no, I'm not a sore loser.
But you're not going to like go pout.
No,
Okay.
no, not at all. But I do enjoy it to win.
Yeah, who doesn't?
And I do it at all costs.
Yeah. And I will throw you under the bus for it.
The only times I remember seeing Grape and Bowl and touching it has been on Disney Channel movie. I've never actually done that, partaked in Grape and Bowl.
What Disney Channel movie? Halloween Town?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
there's a man in that will drive a taxi, and he's actually made a skeleton, which is
It's true.
pretty scary stuff.
Did you watch Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah, I liked it.
I feel like we've also probably talked about this before, but I don't care. We're talking about it again. What are your standout scary episodes of that?
I have no idea.
What?
I don't know.
You
I
don't remember the specifics?
No one remembers specific.
We got Bobcat Goldthwait as the
you-
Sandman. We got the creepy clown in the comic book, and you microwave the comic, and the clown did the with the blue coming out of his mouth. We got the pool swamp thing skeleton guy. Terrifying.
I have no idea.
We
what
got
that
Tia
is.
and Tamara, twin sisters, and one of them turns into an iguana when you get it wet, which is the
shit.
evil twin. You got the ghost girl with the Q on the wall and the crystal. I remember that shit vividly.
I truly cannot believe you remember that.
I loved Are You Afraid of the Dark? And like Goosebumps and stuff.
I do remember Goosebumps, which we've definitely talked about in this.
We've done it on we did a bracket or like a tier list of Goosebumps. Yeah. There's a new Goosebumps show on Netflix that's like not amazing. It's decent though. And there's a trans mask dude named Miles McKenna that stars on it. And people should watch it just to support more trans actors being cast and stuff, please.
Wow.
And he plays like a gay dude on it. So it's like really cool. I don't know. Like
It is cool.
it's a twofer.
You talked about Halloween in a way that had a...
It's because we were in latex on these chairs earlier.
You talked about Halloween in a way that someone that has a lot of love for the holiday would mention the holiday.
Yeah.
What are some of your standout moments that you've had with Halloween in which it has affirmed your love for this Ghouls Day?
I always like, ironically, because we didn't decorate this year, it's hard to get in the Halloween spirit when you live in California. Like when the season doesn't change, I don't feel like decorating.
That's why you gotta get a pumpkin.
Yeah, well, it's just like it's not fall outside. But we used to do, kids can't come up to our door when we're trick-or-treating ever because of having dogs. Because the dogs would absolutely freak out and then the kids get scared. And I don't want to actually scare a kid.
Yeah.
Like, not badly. So I used to take a lot of like time making like where the candy sits.
Yeah.
But make little signs on like, I'd do the tea bags on paper and burn the edges and be like, take only one, the witch is watching or whatever.
Oh, I love
and
it.
like cute stuff. And we lived in one place when we lived in Minnesota that like we had bone wind chimes hanging that we made ourselves from a tree.
It's amazing.
So like the bowl was under that with the signs and like little candlelit path.
How did you make the tree?
The tree out of epoxy. I don't know. No.
Wow.
Model magic. It took a long time because it was a 8-foot tall tree.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Seems like it's a lot of model magic or whatever.
A
that
lot
is.
of trips to Michael's.
That's a pretty cute thing to do for them. And I'm sure that those kids are very happy about it.
Well, I like that aspect of it. Beyond I think you go through phases in like how you approach Halloween in life because there's like the college age, which is just you go get trashed, but in costumes edition, whatever. And there's nothing. But then you get older and you want to make Halloween fun and like enjoyable for children so that like it fosters the love of Halloween in future generations. So if you're like the stupid house that has its lights off and is like a curmudgeon, that kind of sucks. Or like, I don't know, you try to actually scare the shit out of a kid and ruin their night. That also sucks.
I weirdly have very good memories with Halloween. Like I remember watching Scooby-Doo. It's like it's a show where there's a bunch of detectives and they have their dog. It's a zany show.
Yeah.
It really blow your mind if you saw it. People, it takes a minute to kind of wrap your head around. But this dog named Scrappy kind of helps him solve different
That's not his
mysteries.
name. Scrappy's his shitty like cousin.
You gotta watch this show. That's all I'm trying to say. To
I know
you.
you're fucking with me, but I'm
But-
so upset right now.
I'm absolutely not fucking with you. I'm trying to tell you a story about my mother.
Scoobert do.
They solve different they're just kind of helping out, honestly. They don't work for the law enforcement because they always come in to kind of
A-cab.
get helped out. But regardless, I used to watch that show and I would watch the skeletons do their little dance
The
thing.
skeleton dance. Yeah. Yeah.
I loved watching those shows. My mom would make me a little charcuterie board. It would have little What are the small?
You gotta give me more.
The small
Ritz crackers.
No. The
Cheese
small
cubes.
greens, the pickles, small green pickles.
Cornichon?
Yes.
Your mom would make you charcuterie as a child?
She would.
This is something not even my mom would do.
Listen, she would do this thing. It started with when my dad and I would watch the Saints play.
Yeah.
Who dat? We would watch them, and my mom. It was cute, so she would come in and bring us these little boards that would have olives and
It's like
some little
an
meats.
upscale TV dinner.
Yeah, it was cute.
Yeah.
Well, not really. It was like a charcuterie board.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
But you called it something else then.
Yeah. And it would,
The mental image of like a mother coming into their like 7-year-old child and being like, eat your charcuterie, honey.
No.
Like
she would call it hors d'oeuvres.
hors d'oeuvres, not hors d'oeuvres.
Hors d'oeuvres.
Hors
She would
d'oeuvres.
call it that. And yeah, she would bring it in on this little china. And that was like the fun of it was she would make it a thing for us.
But she'd do it for Halloween too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There would be a little cheese on it. There'd be a little olive. There'd be a cracker. There'd be a meat salami. We always had hard salami in the house.
Did she ever
My mom
make
loved it.
like them Halloween-y?
Never. No.
Okay.
It was essentially just a bunch of the stuff we had in the fridge, and she would put it onto the thing and bring it.
Yeah.
And my dad and I would eat it while we watched the Saints. But then she would do it for our Halloween too.
Any other holidays?
No.
That's so like weird.
Well, the November holiday and Christmas.
November holiday. Well played.
Thanks so much. The one that happens then, there's usually food around it. And there's like Charlie Brown,
Yeah.
I suppose. But really the only thing, Halloween is just about watching a TV show.
Yeah, it is. It's like what you watch and whatever. I think that like a more fun thing than doing the November one, which is so fucking funny. I'm gonna do like forever now. Would be to have a Halloween feast instead, like Halloween friend feast, and then you don't do the November one.
Yeah, that's what we've been doing lately.
I feel like that's a better.
We've been doing actually. There's a Nordic holiday or something.
Oh yeah, with your boyfriend Briarbite. Yeah.
Sierra's been finding all the Viking holidays and like Nordic holidays.
Yeah.
And she'll say, "We're gonna do this one today. We're gonna do this one. We're gonna do this one."
Yeah.
So we've replaced them all.
That's cool.
It's very cool.
I feel like that's a lot more fun.
It's cool. Some of the holidays you get a whole fish.
Like
some of the holidays
you sitting there yourself have a whole fish.
Yeah.
And everyone at the table has a whole fish.
Everyone has there's these like wild meals.
That's
these
awesome.
Feasts.
I kind of want to. This year hasn't been a good one for holidays for me, like, and being on top of them, just because like life's too chaotic. It's hard to get your shit together for holidays. But next year, I definitely want to like do something really cool for Halloween, like where we're living then, because I feel like it'll be a better place for it anyway, because it'll be actually fall. I know I'm not like Christmas will be different this year, whatever, because the family's not going somewhere, but I'll be with them. So that's cool.
Yeah. I do feel that being in LA, I've always had to decorate for the holidays.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember Christmas this past year, you did like a decent amount.
I always do a Christmas thing.
Yeah.
I've got these vintage Santa and Mrs. Claus.
Yeah.
I got this vintage Christmas tree that kind of lights up. I always put those out.
Yeah.
It helps.
It helps keep it tethered.
Yeah, because it is difficult because I don't have family here.
Yeah.
And also the seasons don't really change that much.
Yeah. Which is a bummer.
They actually do, but
There's versions
it's
of
hard
this here.
to find. Like I can tell it's fall right now.
Yeah. But it's not like leaves are yellow
It's
and
not Seattle
and,
fall.
Yeah, and orange, whatever. Do you miss season changing stuff?
Well, no, because I've been in LA for 10 years, and then before that, the South doesn't have seasons. Really.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
The idea of the leaves turning and changing, that was in movies to me growing up. I never saw that.
Have you been in like the Northeast of America during fall or anything?
I don't think so. Maybe once, but I can't remember it.
You should. It's great.
Seattle's amazing for that too.
Seattle is good, but it's like the Northeast is like where it's at
Okay.
in terms of driving around and seeing like all the leaves changing and whatever. I don't know.
It was the same thing as snowy Christmases.
Oh, yeah.
My first snowy Christmas was Seattle.
Well, that's but Seattle's just like what Christmas is.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like good snow, like going outside and sledding or making snowmen, like packing snow and stuff. It just was like, go dive in the mush. That'll be gone in 2 days. Like,
and then it turns into dirt.
Yeah. And we lived in Minnesota once for like, I mean, not once, several winters. But they would like plow the parking lots and stuff all into the same area consistently, and there'd be like a 20-foot tall mound of snow that wouldn't melt for like 2 months after winter ended because it was just like
so cold.
That's too far.
Emma said that the coldest she's ever been was in Minnesota.
Yeah, it was really bad. I didn't like that at all.
I was in Chicago one time for winter. I think it was January or something. I've never been that cold my entire life.
This is a great podcast topic. When was the last time sound off in the comments, last time you were really cold?
Actually, it is hard when it's cold during Halloween, bringing it back to Halloween.
Because you can't dress slutty.
That's right.
Yeah. That's a good point, frankly. You got to worry about it. Yeah.
You do, and you don't want to bring a jacket, but you got the stuff.
We also don't want it to be too hot on Halloween.
I would rather be hot than cold.
I guess that's a fair point.
I do enjoy a little bit of the heat, though.
There's nothing worse than like putting on a cute fit. Like it would happen with cons too, like robe cons and stuff. You put on like this tiny little shorts and like, some crop top or whatever, and you're all like ready to go. And then you have to put on like your jacket and shit and be like, well, no one's going to see this.
I know. And then once you're in the convention hall, you're cold. The whole thing sucks.
Yeah. I don't like any of it.
I know. Well, we're not going to do that anymore. Bringing it back to Halloween, you love to pull us away from it.
Yep.
And we're going to bring it back now. Has there ever been a time in a movie theater that you've seen a movie on Halloween?
On Halloween? I don't think so. I'm trying to think of...
Have you ever been to a movie on Christmas?
Yes. That was the thing that my family would do. Like when I was growing up. It was like the order Chinese food, go to a movie, because they're both always open on Christmas.
I love that.
Yeah. And we stopped doing it once I was like in my teens or something, I think. But that was like a thing. I forget what we saw one time. I'm trying to think, like Toy Story maybe or something. I don't even remember the last time I saw a scary movie in theaters though.
Do you like seeing them in theaters?
Yeah. Oh, I guess Jaws counts. When I saw Jaws in theaters, that was awesome. I talked about that.
It's one of the scariest.
It was really, it made me be like, oh, I get it now. We just watched Talk to Me, not in theaters.
You loved it.
I thought it was great. It was genuinely, there were parts where I was like, oh my God, like covering my eyes. And that means a lot because like it takes a lot for me to be like, I don't want to look at this, whatever. But it was like the practical effects were really well done. And not overdone. Like it wasn't like every scene there was a jump scare or some disgusting thing happening. It was just a few. And the camera work was cool. It was like inspiring in terms of like someone who wants to be like a horror creator.
Are you excited to do Halloween? You're moving across the country to be closer to your family.
Yeah. We haven't talked about that on here yet.
I'll cut it out then.
We should do, no, I don't care. I was going to say we should do a moving episode sometime.
Oh, let's do a moving episode.
But yeah, I am.
Are you excited to experience Halloween with the little ones?
Yeah, definitely. Because like they already shown us their costumes this year, and like my oldest sister's youngest daughter is dressing up as like a Navi from Avatar because she like loves Avatar. Like when we went to Disney last year, she was like freaking out about the Avatar shit everywhere, and she does this thing where she like will just talk and make up stuff that's like lore.
Yeah.
But because she's a kid and she is just talking, it sounds like she knows, because she's not being like, I guess she's just like, did you know that Navi da 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 da? And you're just like, fuck yeah. I mean, sure, that makes sense. Like,
why not?
But she was doing that about like dinosaurs in Jurassic Park areas and the Avatar things. And I was just like, yeah, for sure. That absolutely makes sense that the mother would do that. Like,
she's just a girl boss.
Yeah, she is, honestly. But that I think being near them is going to make all the holidays more enjoyable. And then the other kids are older and going to college and stuff. But like, I would be able to like watch movies. Like I just got Dylan to watch The Crow.
Yeah.
And she said she liked it, which I'm like, you fucking better.
She better. I don't know why she wouldn't.
Respect Brandon Lee. Damn it. R.I.P.
You got to know where you came from.
Yeah. Anyway, though.
Yeah. Do you remember one of your first Halloweens?
I guess vaguely. I don't remember ones until I was like 6 or 7.
Did you fill up the bags that look like a pumpkin?
We did the buckets.
What?
And then when you got cool, you did a pillowcase.
With leaves?
No, your candy goes in a pillowcase.
Oh.
You obviously weren't cool.
No, it wasn't. But I'm saying they make these trash bags for leaf.
Yeah.
Looks like pumpkin.
I thought you meant going trick-or-treating. But yeah.
Did you do that?
Fill our trash bags with leaves?
That looked like pumpkin.
No, we didn't do that.
Damn it.
I don't, one of the funny things about my family is my dad is Hispanic, so he liked hiring white men to do yard work.
It's fun.
It's a joke.
I support it.
It's a good joke, yeah.
I support it. I support it. Well, looking forward to 2023's Halloween. What are some of the highlights that you're looking for? What are some of the lowlights that you think you might regret?
I know that we need to get pumpkins and do jack-o'-lanterns or I'll be sad after the fact.
Well, that's a low light.
I've been saying that like I don't care, but I minimum want to do that. So I'm sure we're going to go grocery shopping tomorrow and we got to pick up some
need
carving pumpkins.
You're going to be sad if you don't.
Yeah. I already did Halloween Horror Nights with Michael Panic.
I know him.
And may have talked about that on a previous episode. So I feel like I did something. Like that was good. I've been watching a lot of scary movies myself in my room alone. And I feel actually I'm like kind of stoked about that because I like watching movies.
Yeah.
And I haven't been doing much recently because I've just been doing stupid YouTube stuff. Losers. But it's been
this
fun.
podcast.
Yeah, no, this is the best way to spend your YouTube time. But that's fun. What's your answer?
I don't have anything planned, but I usually try to do something that reminds me of my childhood. I'll maybe make myself a little hors d'oeuvres plate.
Yeah, you should do the charcuterie with you and Briarbite.
Yeah. And then I generally will watch the skeletons do the
What is
dance.
that in? You're saying it like it's a standalone.
I just watched on YouTube for a second.
Oh, okay. I was like, it's not. It's like some Mickey Mouse thing. I think.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I do like it.
You just you pull it up for literally 1 second.
Yeah. I just watch it and I say, oh yeah.
Every year you add an extra second. So this year it's like 5. You're gonna be like 1.
I do like the Charlie Brown.
The Great Pumpkin.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I'll watch that.
I don't anymore.
Why?
I don't know. It kind of bums me out.
Why?
I think that there's like a lot of childhood. It's weird because I love Snoopy and Woodstock. Like I'm so glad there's a Snoopy resurgence happening right now culturally, which is such a weird thing, by the way.
It's strange.
But like people are super into Snoopy right now. I've always been into Snoopy. But like those things weren't happy for me as a kid. Like putting on like it's the Great Pumpkin, whatever, Charlie Brown. I was probably bummed something bad was happening and then it was on TV. So it was like, this sucks, like the association with it. And it's the same with a lot of the Christmas classic, Frosty claymation things, whatever. So like, I'm like, we don't need to do that. Also, they're so mean to Charlie Brown.
Yeah, I guess they are. I don't really even watch it just like it went on, I guess.
I do really vividly think about, it's not a TV show thing, but I always liked the Little Critter or Bernstein Bears.
Oh yeah.
And they had like the Halloween editions where like Little Critter goes trick-or-treating with his little sister, or like the Bernstein Bears are decorating or whatever, shit like that.
I like the Bernstein Bears house.
How it looks, the
Yeah,
cottage.
it's pretty cool.
There's a Christmas one where they put popcorn on string.
Yeah.
I think about that, the little drawings of the popcorn so vividly. There's also one where they decide they're going to lose weight. Weird thing to put in a kid's book. Yeah. Because they're all eating too much junk food.
I remember.
And I remember them eating popcorn and their little bear claws are like with the popcorn, and then they eat carrot sticks and raisins instead.
Yes.
And you're like, damn, this sucks.
The junk food looks so good.
Yeah. And make it look awesome. And you're like, of course I want to eat that. No one wants these carrot sticks with no dip. Like,
I vividly remember the library in New Orleans, going there and getting those books and sitting in the library during in the kids section and reading those.
It's so Matilda coded.
Yeah, and that's a movie.
Yeah.
You've
You've never seen Matilda? You have to see Matilda.
That's a chocolate cake thing. She
Yeah.
eats that.
She does not
I
eat
definitely saw it as a
She
kid.
doesn't
I
eat
remember
it,
it.
just to be clear.
She thought about it though. I guarantee
Brucey.
that.
Brucey eats it.
You absolutely can't be in part of a chocolate
He
cake
eats
without
the
thinking
entire
about
confection.
it. But I am very happy that I was able to grow up with the library.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
I was just talking to my family about getting a library card again because you can access so much shit online via
Yes.
the library card.
Yeah, I do it
for
all the
free.
time.
I need to do
Yeah.
it.
It's great.
I have too many books.
Support your fucking library.
Yeah.
It's great.
Once we move, I'm going to do that there for sure.
Yeah. Well, everybody, we have discussed the greatest holiday in October. And make sure to saddle in and buckle up because I'll tell you what, this one is going to be quite the experience.
Just overall.
Just overall.
Yeah.
We're talking about Halloween.
Yeah. And you don't have to, if you want to dress up, just do it at home alone. This is us dressing up.
This is us dressing up.
We got ready for like over an hour just to sit here and do this. And we look cool. And it's fun, honestly.
We're still doing the Patreon challenge, the 7 days
Yeah.
and 7 nights of the Corn Corner Patreon challenge.
Patreon.com/thecorncorner.
Make sure you sign up for the Patreon challenge.
Yeah, if you want to participate in it. And also you can post your pictures from the challenge and use the hashtag Corn Corner Patreon 7 days, 7 nights challenge.
So everybody buckle up and saddle up because she's going to be a wild ride.
It's a bucking bronco.
All right. Well, listen, if you're shucked
Or you're creamed. It doesn't matter what kind of corn you are. Just as long as you're
kind corn. Patreon.com/thecorncorner.